It's not surprising that we might have all forgotten about the most exciting player in the NBA after all his trials and tribulations the last couple of years. But last night served as a reminder that one of the most dynamic, athletic, and highly skilled guards in the world is back and putting on a show for us every night in Memphis. I want to show you how he's doing it so you can fully appreciate the basketball context of his creative plays, and praise ye Ja! When he came down the court in the second quarter last night, Santi Aldama dribbled over to him to set up a handoff back to the middle of the floor. We can blame Cam Thomas for foolishly gambling for this pass, which allowed Morant to split his feet and attack towards the baseline. Keon Johnson should have been in position to stop this, but he thought Ja was coming back towards the middle too, so that left good rim protecting Nick Claxton as the last line of defense. You'd think Morant came up with this play in midair, but I gotta tell you, I think he intended to do this from the second he ended his dribble here. The most impressive thing is how soft this shot was, with his left hand while releasing on the way down to the ground. You'd think he would have missed this shooting it too hard, but his body control and touch is unparalleled and it's gorgeous. Morant has been on a minutes restriction to start the season, which is why his numbers are a bit depressed, and that rustiness is why his field goal percentage is lower than we're used to. But it's clear as they ramp up his playing time, he's getting more and more comfortable as he treated us to this beauty in the third quarter. And this one was definitely decided in midair as he cupped it back to dunk it, thought better of it, then turned it into a 360 lefty layup soft off the glass. We haven't seen this type of audacious display of ballet-like in-air movement for quite a while, and it's what makes him simultaneously the most entertaining player and one of the more unstoppable ones as well. If you wanted to describe him as a shoot-first combo guard, you'd be completely mistaken about his game, since everything is opened up for him through his incredible passing. And it's equally electrifying when you study what he's doing out there, like this time against the Bucks. His dump-off pass gets deflected, and rather than allow the Bucks to gather the ball into a turnover, he throws himself on the floor to retrieve it. At this point, he can't really move much at all according to NBA rules. But how did he see Aldama open on the cut to the hoop? And how did he throw a perfect lob pass on time and on target from the seat of his pants? Heck, how did Aldama know to cut to the hoop in the first place? Don't think of Morant as some fancy entertainer. Think of him as a supreme problem solver, since that's exactly what he's doing here to an advanced degree. There are a few guys who have utilized the no-look pass as part of their regular skill set, and Ja can literally manipulate defenders with his eye gaze. Just check Keon Johnson in transition. His main concern is Brandon Clark running to the rim for a layup, but the look Ja gives LaRavia causes Johnson to try and close out, and they get the dunk. His passing in the open court is where he's really dangerous, when defenders don't have time to get back in transition well enough. And the threat of him dunking on you is severe, so that defenders have to step up. Check the eye gaze to the rim while also lifting the ball over his shoulder, indicating a dunk attempt before dropping it off to Aldama for another layup. This was funny to me when you watch how his no-look to both perimeter shooters causes Jordan Clarkson to leap to his feet in a strange direction before the lob gets thrown through the hoop for another assist. Out of the pick and roll, he is equally difficult to predict, as he uses his exceptional hang time to lure Lauri Markkanen into thinking the pass is being kicked out to Jay Huff, but in reality, Morant was going to his favorite target in Aldama. Here's a double wedge they set for him above the three-point line, and just keep your eyes on Dorian Finney-Smith, as he's completely drawn to Jaren Jackson Jr. by Morant's head turn. Instead, the pass is thrown to the open space where Zach Edey can get to it and finish the dunk. This might be my favorite, as they spread the floor for a pick and roll to finish the first half against the Magic. There is nowhere to go as Mo Wagner stops him in his tracks, so a glance to Jalen Wells cutting across the top of the circle draws Suggs and KCP up, and the vicious backhanded bounce pass between defenders sets Marcus Smart up perfectly for the easy deuce. The other way Ja puts tremendous pressure on the defense is through his lob passing. This type of vertical spacing from Edey and Aldama leads to a lot of easy shots. The same way SeatGeek can find you the best value on tickets for any concert, sporting event, or the theater. Just check for the green dots. They let you know the price is a great value. It's the easiest app I've ever used to get tickets, and I've got the hookup. With my code BBALL10, you'll get 10% off of every purchase you make. So act now, since this offer may not last long. Hit my link. Don't worry about being called a geek. That's cool these days. and enjoy all your favorite concerts and sporting events, save 10% with my code BBALL10, and that way you can see in person that Morant must lead the league in lob to total assist ratio. And Zach Edey is a favorite target considering the dude is 7'4". Here's a nice baseline out of bounds play where they casually walk Edey out of the corner into a screen, but the special sauce is patiently setting the back screen so he can accelerate into the catch, gather himself, and then throw it down. I've got a problem with the Grizzlies' offense in that it just isn't clever enough, making Ja work that much harder to create plays for him and the rest of his team. With Claxton in good position, there was never a need for Thomas to completely help to the ball, opening up the cut to the hoop from the corner where Morant finds him on the nice ooping of the alley. The most complicated thing they'll run for him is this wedge ball screen, where Edey will roll hard to the hoop and the second ball screener pops out for three. There really is no hope for the defender if Ja can put the ball in the right spot. Perhaps that's why they don't run a lot of intricate offense. Who needs it when you've got a player who can yo-yo dribble to fake out Brook Lopez before drawing the big center to him and tossing the ball towards the front of the rim? And they'll show a double ball screen across the top, but if Morant rejects the first screen, he lures the help rotation over, Thomas won't sink and fill, and it won't matter when throwing a pass 13 feet in the air. It hasn't been all perfect though, as Morant and Edey are still working out their chemistry together, like exactly how high he can throw these lobs before they become uncatchable. And it'll take time for Edey to get comfortable with the brazenness with which Ja will try and get him the ball, like throwing it off the backboard for a lob, or the one-handed shovel pass in close quarters when Edey wasn't even looking for the roll pass, contributing to Ja's career high in turnovers per game. Speaking of one-handed passing, this is where Morant can merge entertainment with the best possible way to get the ball to a teammate for a scoring chance. His ability to throw one-handed passes with either hand is not just a snazzy way to deliver it, it's also the most efficient and quickest way to get the ball from his dribble to the air on a line. The accuracy is what impresses me the most, and his teammates better be ready at all times. Like this cut in transition where he goes between his legs like he's going to bring it back out before shoveling this with a no-look and the left hand in stride to allow Jackson to get right to the rim for the and one. In one of their few clever sets I saw, they slip Bane by Morant and then into a flare screen. While this is a two-handed pass, dear Lord, look how well he leads Bane to the corner while threading the needle with this pass, garnering another three-point assist. For his scoring, he'll use that thread of a pass to open up lanes. Check the fake behind the back pass that forces the big to cover the roll man while he's laying it in at the rim. Again, you won't see any movement before they set one or two ball screens for him, but he's so explosive in space that that's okay. And check how he can finish on the way down after the defender attempted a contest has dissolved. They'll set a screen way high near the half-court line to allow him to hit the right trigger and just put the big man defender in the blender. And he's drawing a ton of shooting fouls for easy shots from the line. Maybe this is their most clever set where they Iverson cut Morant across the free throw line before breaking back with an inside ball screen. Without a lot of movement, it's not easy to get a great shot out of this, and an explosive crossover gets him a nifty one-handed lefty runner high off the glass in an impressive display of shot-making skill. But you can see the issue when just trying to spread into pick and roll. The defense is in great position to stop this. Here there are two defenders in the direction the ball screen is being set, and they can just switch this and dare him to shoot threes where he's been struggling mightily so far. Same thing on this one where there just aren't any seams created when the ball screen is set, and there are times he tries to instigate the contact and draw a foul where it leaves him completely off balance and attempting a very hard shot. On this Iverson cut across the court, he breaks it off to get the ball on the right side instead, but they just can't seem to find enough space. What he's seeing are several defenders in his way before he even tries to use a screen, inviting the pass that he can't complete. I have no doubt some of his misses will become makes as he shakes off any rust and increases his playing time to a regular starter's load. And the team will get even better once Desmond Bane and Luke Kennard get back on the court. And if all these things come to pass, no one is going to want to play this team in the regular season or the playoffs. And I know I can't wait to see him continue to remind us how good he really is when we get a memorable playoff performance.